Welcome to the first ever 2N on Air live stream. Thank you very much for joining in. We have prepared an interesting content for you, which will be divided into two parts. One is today and the other one on the 18th of June. We are broadcasting from very nice location of Josko showroom in Prague. Thank you very much. And now, and actually today, we will welcome 3 speakers who will cover different topics. For instance, we will see what the latest market trends are. We will find out what the best 2N solutions for the residential market are. And then, we will discover what changes has been made by the pandemic on the residential market. And of course, you can ask questions any of our speakers. Please do so. Send them via the platform Slido or put them in the comments into our YouTube channel. And yeah, we have so much to talk about. So let's start now. And now I would like to welcome Michal Kratochvíl, the CEO of 2N.
Good afternoon, Szczepanka. Good afternoon, all of you.
Michal is within 2N for more than 15 years, and for the last 2 years approximately, he's CEO. And my question is, Michal, why 2N came up with the project 2N on Air?
Well, we could give it a simple answer. Simple answer is that we couldn't wait. There's so much happening. The company is developing new products, bringing up new technologies to the market. And the economies are in a close down, everything is stuck, and we would like to use this opportunity to share the information about new products, new technologies, and what is coming up in the near future. That is our ambition, and together with that, we would like to give you a chance to ask questions and to interact so that it is not only one-way stream of information, but you have a chance to ask for the things that you are really interested in. In general, we want to help our partners grow, and by organizing this 2N on Air session, we believe you can learn things about our products that will help you to increase your business and your profitability. So this is our ambition.
Thank you very much for your input. And what is on the program today? In a few seconds or minutes, you will see Tomáš Vystavěl, who is our Chief Product Officer, who will speak about the trends on the residential market and on the main topic or hot topic 2N is working on at the moment. Then we will speak about different segments of residential market, about the uniqueness of 2N products for this market, and then we will also mention how actually the current pandemic changed the market and how is 2N coping with it. So that's it. I hope you will like the content.
And please enjoy.
And after the break, we will welcome Tomáš Vystavěl. Welcome back after a break. I would like to thank Michal Kratochvíl for such an excellent opening of today's session. And now I would like to welcome my colleague Tomáš Vystavěl, who is Chief Product Officer, who knows everything about the current trends on the market and who will share with us what's the main topic for 2N for this year. So Tomáš, it's up to you.
Thank you for a warm welcome, Szczepanko. The main topic for 2N in terms of what products we are working on for this year is keyless entry, namely Bluetooth technology we are offering for some time on the market already. And for us, this is a trend in residential we follow because we believe this is something that will be actually the most used way how you open the door or access the door, access your house or the buildings. The most convenient way that is on the market. Because we don't see the biometric technologies like facial recognition or fingerprint being because of the COVID now not used that much because it's a touch technology, and facial recognition being something that is not that well accepted by people in especially Europe and Americas because they don't want to give away the biometric credentials to third parties. So they want something convenient, but not want to use the biometric ones. So the mobile credential is natural outcome of that, and we believe we have a good starting position with having the Bluetooth solution right now. And our main focus for this year is to make the technology fast and reliable as you would use the RFID card, meaning really instant access to the door with 100% reliability. You will open the right door at the right time.
Okay, but why is 2N focusing on the residential market, and what benefits it is bringing?
Well, the focus on the residential market is, I would say, natural outcome of that. We think we're established company, office vertical, where we are one of the, say, biggest suppliers of the communication systems, intercom systems, and we've gained a lot of experiences on large installations in big office complexes. And this is something that we can reuse as a really experience in residential, especially in something which is similar, and it's large apartment buildings. So residential market is really big for us. It was say strategic move to penetrate this vertical also with our solutions. It was an investment from our side. We needed to create really a lot of new products that we didn't have those times, new answering units and accessories that are used in residential. And for us, it was also natural that a lot of our system integrators that we have worked with in office vertical were actually focusing slightly, or even, for example, from 50% to the residential installations.
Residential installations, okay. So speaking about system integrators, what are the main advantages 2N is bringing to system integrators?
Well, a part of giving them chance to really earn some nice margins on our products. We know that system integrators, they need to be sure when they have a customer with some requirements, they are able to achieve it, to deliver the solution, and to deliver a solution that will be reliable, stable, will actually meet all of the requirements of the customer. So on one hand, it's actually the possibility to integrate the product into the, let's say, environments they're using, and I'm talking about not only the telephony systems, but also about access control systems, video surveillance, some cloud application, home automation, which is very strong in residential. And second of all is the support they need to have to be really sure that if they use our product with some third-party systems, they can be sure it's going to work. So we're investing a lot into the certifications, into the testing in our test lab or in test labs of the third-party solution providers, to give them a really overview what they can use, manuals and how-tos, so they are really effective while installing the solution, and also the support on field or in the field. For example, giving them for free the technical support, and they are able to call us anytime during the working hours, of course, and we are able to help them instantly on the site during the installation. Okay,
that's great. Speaking about the residential market, you mentioned it's very big. What are the different segments? Could you please talk about more?
It is a big market, definitely. The segments we do focus at, are trying to make some tailor-made solutions, are three actually. Starting with single villas, small houses, where mostly the home automation is the key word. So we are integrating a lot with the home automation solutions. Then I was talking about apartment buildings. That's the second segment. And the third one is actually gated communities, large complexes, apartment buildings in a gated community closed with some gate or fence. For us, it's critical, or what we do in the products to be able to service verticals is that we are trying to really tailor-made them, which is costly. But at the end of the day, the integrator doesn't have to think about where we are, usable in such a scenario, because example is our service mobile video that can be used by the end user in single villa, meaning the end user will buy it, install it, pay for it, do everything by himself. Whereas in MDU, the integrator, the system integrator, is actually the one who's doing the installation, who's actually buying the service and then reselling it to the end customer. Okay. Meaning we're giving them a way how to make some recurrent revenues on the service.
Thank you very much, Tomáš. And now you can send your questions towards Slido or via the comments on YouTube channel. Welcome back. We just relocated to a different room where we will be answering your questions. And speaking about the questions, thank you very much for sending so many of them. Please be assured that we will be answering all your questions. Either our speakers will do, or either our operators. And now it's time for the first question for Tomáš. So, can I use standard to an intercom with Crestron, or I need some special one?
With Crestron home automation system, you can use any to an intercom off-shelf product. You need nothing special for that. So any intercom that you will buy in our distribution can be used with the Crestron home automation. Simple as that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
that's
so we can continue. I'm facility manager for 5 large apartment houses. May I manage them with 2N?
It seems like this question to manage them with 2N or My2N. We have a service in My2N that you can create these 5 apartment houses as a sites in My2N and then remotely access them using our remote configuration service, which is actually for free. So we have a tool for that in My2N that you will create it as a sites, those 5 buildings, and you can manage them then remotely over the remote configuration service. So yes, we do have a tool for that.
Okay, great. Next question. How many modules may I add to one IP verso at the main entrance? Can I use touch display module instead of button modules?
So the limit or the maximum modules limit for one intercom is 30 modules.
30 modules?
30 different modules. You can combine whatever modules you want. And of course you can use the touch display instead of the buttons. It's actually with more than like 3 button modules, it's more convenient to use a display because you can navigate and search by swiping over the display or just type a name of the tenant you're looking for. So it's something I would recommend to use instead of more than, let's say, 2 or 3 button modules.
The next question. Do you see the future in voice-controlled access control solution?
If it's meant like when I don't want to touch anything, I want to say open the door for me. There is a, let's say, trends to use such assistants that we actually are trying to follow, or we are exploring what are the possibilities. But so far, people usually on the public areas, they don't want to talk to intercom. Say, locate some tenant for me because of the privacy. They are shy, if I can say it like that.
Most probably.
So what we are looking for instead is to use antibacterial antibacterial stuff or antibacterial treatment, or some let's say reception call, automatic reception call from our intercom instead of the voice assistants. But it's definitely a topic that is interesting, and we are looking into it to, let's say, explore more what are the possibilities.
Okay. Does 2N have a consolidated solution, access control, security cameras, intercoms, and security systems?
We do have access control, intercoms, together with the security cameras in one package. It's the intercom itself, actually. If you mean to combine it with some third-party video surveillance system, that's possible as well. I would say, yes, we do have it. Not everything is 2N branded, but you can combine it, for example, with access cameras, which are in the same ownership as we are owned by Axis.
Okay, so the time is running. We have time for the last question now. Can the 2N IP Verso LTE make a call through the cellular network to any cell phone number, or just call through the 2N mobile app?
Well, 2N Verso LTE is making a SIP calls, meaning it's not like a GSM call. So it's only able to make calls through the My2N, meaning to send it to your mobile app. We do have possibilities how to use our gateway, for example, to send it to the cell phone number, but it's nothing that would be that much used. We use it just occasionally on some installations. So the answer is, it's sending the call just to the mobile app. Only if you need something very, well, let's say, niche, we are able to do it, to send the call to the cell phone.
Okay, so that was it. I would like to encourage you to keep sending your questions, because all of them will be answered. And now it's time to move to the next topic. So you've now watched the video showing where 2N products can be used. I hope that you liked it. And now I'm here with Gareth Robinson, our product manager, who knows everything about 2N products and solutions. He will now explain what is unique about 2N products and which solutions are best suited for MDUs project, for gated communities and single houses. So, Gareth, how are you today?
Hey, Stepanka. So thanks for the introduction. It's really great to be here today. I'm really excited to talk about 2N products and explain a little bit more about how they fit into different scenarios.
Okay, so let's start. So, what is so unique about 2N products? What's your opinion?
Well, that's a great question. I think 2N are in a unique position in so much as we offer a complete solution, so therefore like a one-stop shop to integrators in the residential segment. So we really cater to needs all the way from the front door or gate through to the inside of people's homes. And of course, the needs of different residential settings differ depending on what kind of installation it is. And I think our real strength lies in the fact that we can cater to each one of these types of needs, no matter what sort of residential project it be.
So why don't we start with apartment buildings?
Sure, yes. So we have a great strength for these types of projects, for large MDUs or condos, where, for example, there are lots of people in and out throughout the day, so a flexible access control technology is needed. So 2N readers span the technological spectrum. We can cater from RFID cards and PIN codes all the way through to fingerprint or Bluetooth mobile credentials. So that lets the resident use their own smartphone as their pass. And that's not just from the front door, but throughout the whole building, and including the lift.
Including the lift?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a native capability along with our access control software called Access Commander, where facilities managers can actually control exactly which floors residents can access. So you can really bolster the security by making sure people can only access
the certain the specific floor.
Exactly.
That's
now,
great.
Besides this, I think other needs in these types of installations, people expect to be able to know who they're talking with when they get a visitor at the front door. So 2N provides a range of luxurious, high-end answering units to take those calls when you are at home, but also we provide a remote calling service, so you can still take calls even when you're not at home. And of course, in these installation types, you also have garages or parking facilities, so they're a little bit less visible, so perhaps a more rugged intercom is needed there. We provide a super robust intercom. It's actually got the highest impact rating available on the market, so that can provide both calling and access. So when your visitor gets to the garage, you can let them in remotely, or when you arrive, you can let yourself in, perhaps with a PIN code or a card.
You already mentioned remote management, remote communication with visitors. So does it mean that you can speak with a visitor even if you are away from home when you're traveling? Yeah,
sure. So we actually offer a world-leading remote calling service. It's called 2N Mobile Video, and it's available on our My2N platform. So what that does is it gives people the ability to see who's at the door. So when they get a call, they can see who's there before they pick up the call. They can speak to their visitor, and they can let them in all remotely, all through their smartphone. So no matter where they are in the world, they don't need to miss calls. They can still let people in.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, we like to think so. As I said, it's an industry-leading service as well, so it really sets the bar in terms of its quality and its reliability.
Okay, so we have covered building apartment buildings and DUs. How about single houses and villas and gated communities?
Sure, yes. So again, a different type of residential setting here with again very unique or different needs. But again, 2N can cater to each of these. So for example, we have a 4G intercom. That means it works through a SIM card with 4G or LTE data connection. So if you imagine an installation where you need calling and you need access, maybe at the end of a long drive or around the periphery gates of a community where you can't lay a network cable. So this intercom is perfect because all you need to do is apply power, insert your SIM card, and you're up and running within seconds.
I will interrupt you here because I have heard that this LTE intercom was the first in the whole world. Is it true?
That's right, yes. So we like to set precedents at 2N. We were the first to introduce a pure IP intercom, and now we've been the first to introduce a pure 4G intercom as well. So yeah, we don't follow trends, we set them.
We set them. That's great.
Whilst we're talking still about those smaller family homes and the gated communities, the other things we can bring there, coming back to the mobile video, the remote calling. So remember, it's not just to answer calls, but to let people in when you're not there. So servicemen, cleaners, dog walkers, all of that's possible. You can let these people into your homes without needing to be there. And also with home automation. So we integrate out of the box with a range of major home automation providers, and we support open protocols so we can integrate with many other platforms as well.
Another great news. Okay. So speaking about home automation, could you specify which home automation solutions 2N products are compatible with?
Yeah, of course.
The main ones?
So, well, you said it yourself, it's actually pretty much all the main home automation providers. And the way we integrate means that through either their panel or through their app, then we can integrate for two-way calling, for door opening. So for example, we work with Crestron, Control4, RTI, to name just a few. But as I mentioned, don't forget, we also support open protocols. So that means some of the smaller companies or other systems, if they support the same protocols, then great, we've opened the door for integration with an unlimited range of other platforms.
Non-limited. I'm really impressed by this. Okay, can you maybe explain in more details what other benefits 2N solutions have? Because we have covered IP, open protocols, home automation, and so on?
Well, actually, IP you just mentioned, and perhaps to elaborate on that a little bit more, all of our solutions are based on IP, pure IP technology. So one of the first big advantages is ease of installation. Super easy to install, you just need a network cable, plug and go. No need for a power supply, no need for additional wires and cabling. Plus 2N have really been able to harness the strength, perhaps the main benefit of IP, which is remote configuration, remote management. So we have a free service called 2N Remote Configuration, which is available through the My2N platform. And through that, you can manage and configure devices in all of the sites that you manage remotely and through the cloud.
Remotely. That's great. Why is it so important?
Well, if you imagine that every change that happens at a site needs to be reflected in the access or the calling system. So, for example, if there are new residents moving in or moving out, or perhaps a resident's just lost their card or forgot their PIN number, typically that would have meant the facilities manager has to physically attend the site. Now, obviously that covers, has three big overheads attached to it. Time, cost and security.
Yeah.
So time and cost are kind of self-explanatory because obviously it takes time and money for a facilities manager to drop what they're doing, jump in the car, go and attend the site and deal with the issue. But security is an overhead that's often overlooked. So maybe a resident's dropped their card as they're leaving the property, and anyone obviously can come and pick that up, and they've got free reign throughout the building then, they've compromised the security. Now, the resident would realise what they've done, they can call the security manager, but if they can't attend straight away, if they're doing something else, if it's the middle of the night, if it's over the weekend, then it may be a few days until they can go and block that card and make the change. So all of that time then security is compromised. So with remote management, it really plugs that gap, and it means that it's able to eliminate those three overheads in one fell swoop. So with remote configuration, you can make those changes, block the card without needing to set foot on the site, without leaving your home or your office, whatever time of day or night. Wow,
this is pretty amazing. So save time and money with 2N solutions. You are watching the first ever 2N on air live streaming. Just for the ones who have just joined in, you can always send your questions and answers through the platform Slido or through the comments on the YouTube channel. In a few moments we will reply. And then, now I have Gareth Robinson again, who will now tell us more about 2N answering units. So Gareth, it's yours.
Okay, well, one of the things that we recognise at 2N is that it's just as important as how calls are made from the front door is how calls are answered inside the home. And we really recognise that people expect the same quality and functionality from their answering units as they do from their 2N intercoms. But not just that, I think a lot of manufacturers overlook that people also expect a really strong emphasis on style and design, because these are units that are placed on the walls of people's homes after all. So that's why we take such great pride in our answering unit range. We feel like we've got a perfect balance between functionality and elegance and style. And actually that's been recognised in and accredited with awards for design from If Design and from Red Dot Design, which we're really proud of.
Wow, this is amazing. Can you please present specific indoor units, answering units?
Yeah, of course. Perhaps it's worth mentioning that when taken as a whole, 2N answering units, along with other 2N products like our intercoms, they actually form part of an integrated 2N ecosystem and bring additional benefits, which we'll mention later. But introducing firstly perhaps the unit where audio and video are needed, along with integration with third-party systems like home automation system. So our Indoor Touch 2.0 is a powerful surface-mounted 7-inch touchscreen unit. It comes with a sleek design, toughened glass surface, and it's built on Android. Now, it includes the types of features you might expect, call logs and video preview, but there's also some extra tricks up our sleeves. So for example, video voicemail, missed call photo snapshots, and the ability to connect to an external camera. So you can really be sure who's in front of the intercom plus who's around the general area of the door.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, great feature. As well as this, because it's based on Android 6, you can use it as an interface for those home automation or perhaps camera management applications. For example, it comes pre-installed with Axis Camera Station and Axis Companion apps. Maybe you can control your heating with an app like Delta Door, or your lighting through a Schneider app as well. So no need for an external interface.
That's great. And what if integration with other system or a touch screen are not needed?
Well, we also have audio-video capable smaller device, indoor compact. As the name suggests, it has a smaller surface area, 4.3-inch screen, but it's not built on Android. It's built on our own 2N operating system.
Right.
So it still provides that audio-video calling capability, but because there's no need for integration with third-party apps, it comes at a slightly lower price point. With this device, we've also given a great deal of style, as with all of care on style, as with all of our products. So, along with the features like the video preview, call log, etc., it also features really iconic capacitive function buttons, and we've taken a great deal of care with a unique speaker output design, which gives a really excellent audio clarity. So as well as sounding great, it looks beautiful on the wall.
It looks beautiful.
We've put the same care and love into its sister product, which is the Indoor Talk. So very similar to the Indoor Compact, features the same beautiful capacitive icons, the same incredible care over the audio quality, but it doesn't include any video. So if the resident doesn't feel the need to see their visitor, they can just speak with them, then the Indoor Talk's a perfect option, and of course it comes at a slightly lower price point as well.
Just wondering whether the integrator needs to know at this stage what the residents actually will prefer.
Good question, and you're quite right. At the planning and building stage, the integrator doesn't necessarily know which model the residents might choose, which is why we came up with a great solution to offer flexibility at the build stage, and it's our universal flush mount box. So that can be installed at the beginning in the build stage, and then the resident later on can choose which of the answering units they want to install.
So there's some time to decide.
Absolutely, yeah. And maybe the resident doesn't actually want the unit installed on the wall after all. Maybe they want it installed or to have it on a stand or a desk near the door.
No need to drill.
Precisely. And maybe it's also for use by a receptionist or concierge. So we have another universal product, which is a universal desk stand.
Brilliant.
And just like the flush installation box, is compatible with the Indoor Talk, Indoor Compact, and our soon-to-be launched brand new product, the Indoor View.
Welcome to an Indoor View. So, next question is, why are we launching another answering unit?
Well, we realise that the market is calling out for a larger 7-inch video audio answering unit, but doesn't necessarily need that integration with third-party apps. So just like the Indoor Touch, it has that same large 7-inch screen, but unlike the Indoor Touch, it's not built on Android, it's built on our own 2N operating system, so it doesn't integrate with third-party systems. Therefore, it comes at a slightly lower price point, and it fits perfectly in our portfolio between the Indoor Touch and the Indoor Compact.
So maybe a tricky question, when is it supposed to hit the market?
Yeah, well, you don't need to worry, it's gonna be available very soon. So we plan to launch and have it rolled off production by the end of summer, so it can be in your hands really soon. So
that was it for 2N answering units. And how about you? Have you already picked up the best suited answering units from 2N for your project? You can still send your questions through Slido or via the comments on YouTube channel, and we will answer them in a minute. So we'll come back to our Q&A room. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for sending all these questions. Please be assured that we will answer all of your questions. They will be answered either by our speakers or by our operators, or you will receive the answers in the thank you email after the live stream. And now it's time for the first question. So Gareth, is it possible to open a door remotely with mobile?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have an application called 2N Mobile Video. And with this, if you have a caller at the front door, then obviously you can see who's there, decide to speak to them. And if you're happy with the visitor, then you can let them in remotely if you choose to. You can also use that application outside of a call. So if you see somebody arriving at the front door, perhaps they're not sure which button to press or who to call, you can engage or open the lock remotely through the application without them needing to call you through it.
Okay, so let's move to the next question. Can you grant them access with PIN code? Can they be set to expire or the cards?
Yes, so the way our access control logic works is that you can assign PIN codes or RFID cards to users in the directory, and then you can set a validity term. So you can decide the date and time from which a person can access a building up until the time that they can stop having access. So it's entirely possible, and you can even set up profiles to roll out those access rules globally across a big directory of users.
Nice. Next question. The main processor for 2N is connected via the building's internet connectivity. What is the process of access if the power or network goes down?
Well, actually, that's not quite correct. The main processor of 2N is actually in the access unit or intercom itself. It's something that kind of sets us apart a little bit from the competition because our readers and intercoms are what we call reader controllers. So the intelligence actually lies in the device itself. We have a central management system, so some software called Access Commander. And what that does is it lets you update things or centrally manage information, and then that synchronizes out to all the intercoms and access units. But if they go offline, then they still have that database through which to make access decisions. So it's really great for those situations. They don't need to have internet connectivity. They'll still continue to work and function as normal.
Good. Can 2N access control solutions be integrated with all hotel systems? And how you integrate the solution with the hotel management system?
Okay, good question. Again, just coming back to that software that I mentioned, Access Commander, which is our like central management platform. So that actually includes an open HTTP API. Therefore, if a hotel management system is able to work with another system through an API, then absolutely it's able to update and manage our access control solution directly within the hotel management system, and also to receive events and this type of thing. So it's manageable through an open API.
As easy as that. Okay, what was the reason for a 7-inch screen unit? Do you consider to make a 3-inch screen?
Okay, well, I guess the reason, it comes down a little bit to personal taste and to the installation environment. Some spaces don't have enough room for a larger answering unit, but those that do, we know that people desire 7-inch touch screens because it provides a nice large picture of the visitor at the door.
Absolutely.
Also with our Indoor Touch 2.0, because it's on an Android platform, it gives you a nice interface through which you can access third-party applications. As for a smaller answering unit, we have the Indoor Compact with a 4.3-inch screen. Do we look to go lower than that? I don't think so. I think the limit down to which people want to be able to see their visitor on a wall-mounted unit is what we have with the Indoor Compact. Of course, people can also use their mobile phones through mobile video if they want a smaller surface.
Okay. What are you developing answering units with your own operation system? Why are you developing answering units with your own operation system and not Android-based?
Okay, well, we do have an Android-based answering unit with the Indoor Touch 2.0. So being Android-based, you can run third-party applications to interface with systems like home automation, for example. But we know that not all installations require this. So we developed a range of answering systems which work on our own operating system, 2N operating system. And they're great for situations where integration with home automation, building automation isn't required. side. And because they're Android based, it means that they're even more affordable units as well. So they're more appealing on the price point.
Okay, and it's time to the last question. Can any indoor station be seamlessly upgraded? Are they all just powered off one catch cable to easily swap for upgrades? Not sure it's understandable.
So yeah, the question asking if the indoor units are powered off Cat 6.
Oh, Cat 6, sorry.
Basically a Ethernet cable. And the answer is in two parts, yes. So all of our answering units are able to function through PoE, Power over Ethernet. That means that all of them can be powered through just the network cable and don't need an external power supply. About the upgrade, then yes, as long as the Ethernet cable is there, then you can swap out the answering unit. And actually, if the answering unit is one of our Indoor Talk, Indoor Compact, or soon to be launched Indoor View, then the back installation box is actually universal. So it means it's really easy to take out one module or one unit and swap it over with a different model.
Okay, thank you very much, Gareth. That was it. But it doesn't mean that we will stop answering all of questions. No, please keep sending them. All of your questions will be answered. Thank you. And let's move to the next topic. Welcome back after the break. You are now watching the first ever 2N on air. And now, here is again Tomáš Vystavěl, who will now speak about the changes that pandemic has provoked in the market and how is actually 2N reacting to these changes.
There definitely were changes on the market that we needed to react somehow on. Small changes were changes caused by the pandemic situation, especially within the healthcare, where we did provide some solutions, but it was something like a quick fix that we have reacted and helped few hospitals to treat their patients remotely through the intercom. But for the topics that will stay here for the especially residential vertical that we are talking about right now, I see there are 4 topics that we see that will really stay with us. One of them is that what the pandemic did to people is that they are right now really afraid to touch things on the public spaces. It's about the hygiene. And we see that there are requests to have surfaces that are antibacterial treated, so some coating which is antibacterial, making sure that there is nothing to survive on the product that could harm you somehow, or the product needs to be really ready to be cleaned by some detergent like alcohol or hot water, soapy water, that will clean the product and keep it clean on the public areas. The second trend we see is touchless, because if it can't be treated with something antibacterial, people simply don't want to touch the surfaces. And we have solutions for that even now, starting with a simple RFID card, which you don't have to touch the product actually to open the door, to the Bluetooth technologies that our Bluetooth reader is able to be operated by touching of any part of the body actually, so you can touch it with your elbow, for example.
Okay, could you explain it in more details maybe?
Yeah, well, the sensor is actually usually located nearby the door, so you will just touch it with the elbow, and then we can initiate actually the whole pairing process and open the door for you without need to touch it with your bare hand.
That's great.
And the biggest topic we see for the residential actually is package delivery.
Package delivery.
Yes. Simply because of the lockdown, people really get used to order things, groceries or electronics, actually any goods in general, online. Some people were doing that even before, but not the, say, vast majority. Right now we see that a lot of people simply realize that it's simple. They previously weren't, say, that keen to give away, for example, a payment card, credit card. Right now they realize it's simple, it's safe. So this is a trend we see. The only thing we need to solve for the market is, or needs to be solved, is the thing that right now people are getting back to their homes because the restrictions are easing up. And since you are not home, you are not able to receive the package. So this is for us a challenge we see on the market.
Okay. I have already heard that actually in the US many parcels go missing, so that would be a great solution for them.
We're trying to prepare something for the system integrators they can use as a base for such a solutions. It's our My2N platform or the portal itself and service like mobile video, because when you are not at home, you're still reachable from the intercom by the delivery service on your cell phone, and you can actually open the door, see the person, see the delivery boy to talk to, and you can switch to the external camera, for example, to be able to see that he really leave the package on the place you ask him to, and close the door behind himself. Or we are able to provide solutions to create something which is called a delivery room. That's usually for the MDUs or apartment buildings, where they have a dedicated room to leave the package at. So we're able to provide solution how to get actually from the street for the delivery service to the delivery room and back. And the fourth topic I was mentioning, 3 or 4 topics. The fourth is actually the remote service or remote configuration service, which is part of My2N. That showed us that this is really a strong advantage for our products. Typical situation was in Italy, where there was really a tight lockdown. The system integrators weren't allowed to go to the sites to do the installations. And for those ones who already have the hardware on site, they were able to do the configuration remotely from their houses on home office without any limitations in what they are able to configure, because we're giving them access to the full interface of the device. So the remote configuration, or the remote configuration in general, is a service that we believe will be a very strong argument why to go with 2N, because it really makes things easier. You don't have to drive all the way to the customer site to make some changes in the configuration, but it's really safe way how to connect to the device over the cloud, which is secured.
Okay, they say every crisis is an opportunity, and this is how to cope with that. Thank you very much, Tomáš. And you have the unique occasion to send questions to Tomáš Topics, and we will reply in a few moments. You can send your questions via Slido or with your comments in the YouTube channel. So, in a few moments. So welcome again in our Q&A room, and thank you very much for being with us and for sending all these questions. They will be answered by our speakers, by our operators, or you will receive answers in thank you email after the show. And now it's time for the first question. Is it possible to use only mobile device instead of physical indoor panels?
It is possible. Our service works the way that it doesn't matter whether you have just our physical answering unit, like indoor touch or indoor compact, or mobile phone. You can combine them and use just the mobile phones if you want. So the service will work the same way. You can combine it on one installation, have it without any answering units, any physical ones, have just the mobile phones, or combination.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so let's move to the second question. Big topic in pandemic was contactless delivery service. Are you familiar with this in apartment houses? Do you have some solution I can use?
Yeah, we were mentioning that this really is a topic, the whole delivery topic in general. And our solution is actually that we are able to let the delivery person inside the common space or common areas of the building, of the apartment building, and actually allow them access to some delivery room. And together with our automation and access control features, we're able to create even the delivery room itself. So just open the door to the delivery room, switch to the external IP camera, so the receiver of the package can see that the delivery really was done, that the person closed the door behind himself. So yes, we do have a solution for that.
That's great. Are your intercoms working with the thermal camera? Can I connect external thermal camera to your intercoms?
If we speak about external device, thermal camera itself, because our intercoms does have only standard IP camera inside, so external thermal camera can be connected to our intercom. There are two possible ways. Let's say simplest one is to use some relay output on the thermal camera, and whenever the thermal camera is detecting elevated temperature, we can sense the relay input from the camera and do some following action. Typically, we would deny access of the person and, for example, call a reception and play some pre-recorded message that somebody with an elevated temperature was detected at the entrance. So then the receptionist, for example, can take a thermometer and measure the temperature precisely. And if it needs to be something more, let's say, advanced, we can use always our HTTP API if the camera that you are about to use is supporting such a feature.
Good. How is the IP elevator controller connected to the elevator? Is it difficult to connect?
It's actually connected through a relay output card. We are using Axis relay board, which's got, if I'm not mistaken, 10 outputs, and you can combine more of these up to the 64 floors that we can address. And the connection is very simple. It's just two-wire connection between relay and input on the elevator side. So it's very simple connection. At the end of the day, nothing needed to be configured or programmed on the connection side.
What is behind the name of 2N? Why your company is 2N? What does it describe?
That's a funny question.
Good question, yes.
Good question. 2N actually stands for a street where 2N was settled down, or where we started. And because the street name was in Czech Na Nivách, so there are two N's in the name, so that's why it was named 2N.
So as simple as that. Can the indoor intercom unit be integrated with the host mobile phone to enable controlling the access from the mobile rather than going to the touch unit?
Well, if it does mean that even though that I do have a physical answering unit, and at the same time I'm having a phone and I don't want to go to the answering unit to touch it and open the door, then answer is yes, because when the physical answering unit will ring with the incoming call, at the same time your cell phone can ring with our mobile video service. So you can then decide whether you want to stand up and use the physical answering unit or just to take a cell phone and do the very same on your cell phone. Just answer the call, see the person and open the door just by a click of a button.
And time is running up. The last question. What are the best tools for integrators during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, we were mentioning that very, let's say, appreciated service was the remote configuration, which is part of my 2N portal. So our integrators were using mostly this service because there were installations that were, let's say, in the middle of the installation. And for example, in Italy, it went to the complete lockdown. So they wanted to finish some installations. They were not able to go there by themselves, but they were able to actually finish all the configuration set up remotely with having no limitations what they can configure. So I would say that it was the remote configuration. It's free and it's giving you, I would say, very large options how to configure our devices from anywhere in the world.
It's a great help for integrators.
It does.
Definitely. Okay, thank you very much, Tomáš. And thank you all for sending the questions. They will definitely be answered by our operators. And to those who are registered, will be sent a newsletter or thank you email with all the answers. And you who are not registered, please do so for the next time. Thank you. So at the end of today's session, 2N on Air, I would like to again welcome Michal Kratochvíl, the CEO of 2N. Michal, we have seen many speakers talking about 2N solutions, which ones are suitable for which segment and so on. We were talking about trends on the market, we were talking about the challenges of post-pandemic and so on. And now I would like to get back to 2N as such and ask, how is 2N as a company? How do you perceive it?
Yeah, very important question. I see 2N as a long-term thinking, reliable partner for our customers. Yeah, we are in the market for more than 25 years. We are a stable company. We are in the long run profitable, backed up with a very strong owner. Today our owner is Axis Communications, a Swedish leading manufacturer in video surveillance. But I don't want to say that we are only stable, which is critically important in these times, but we are also a very dynamic young company, fast growing company. In the last 3 years, we also almost doubled our revenue, and I should say that most of our partners who work with us also increased their revenue with us and with 2N products. We have a global footprint. We, of course, serve global market. We work on all continents, but the focus is on the US and EMEA market, and this is where we aim also for the future.
Okay, so if I should choose, why should I choose 2N intercoms, for instance? What is it going to bring me? What's the main? Why should it be the first choice?
I think 2N brings a lot of innovation to the market, but my ambition is that it's not only innovation for the sake of innovation. It should be always innovation that brings benefits to our customers, that brings something useful, something that the customers will like and want to pay for. So first thing is innovation, but also very important, or even more important, is reliability.
Reliability is a tricky word. What does it mean to you?
If I say reliability, I have in mind a quality over time. Yeah,
Quality over time.
So imagine
Quality over time. Yes.
imagine you go to the installation with 2N products, and you will install them successfully, and the customer will be happy. The products will be functional. But our ambition is to go further and have the products functional and giving the same quality of service over time, in 5 years, in 10 years.
I understand.
That is reliability, and that is what is bringing our customers value. Really. So the second thing would be reliability, and third, but not least important, is support. Most of the people would think about post-sale support, technical support during the installation or after installation. That is very important, but in 2N terms, we are also talking about pre-sale support during the build-up of the project, and also other kinds of sales and marketing support. So definitely 2N is a partner that will never leave you on your own.
Never let you down.
Never let you down. You can always rely on us when you are at your installation site.
Okay, and last question. Where is 2N heading in the future?
We have high ambitions. Our ambition in the next 5 years is to become number one in intercoms in Europe and also US, so on the two most developed markets. We already today are number one in IP intercoms. That is a subset of the whole intercom market. So our ambition is to broaden that up, and we'll do that mainly by covering the verticals of residential and office buildings. So these two areas will be our focus areas.
I understand, but how about the other verticals?
Other verticals will definitely serve as well. Yeah, so if we're talking about healthcare, education, these are also important verticals for 2N, but the core of our investment and the areas where we will focus are definitely residential and office. And there are other two topics or areas in which we want to invest quite heavily in the upcoming years. One of them is integrations. Integrations not only with third-party vendors or third-party products, but we are talking about integration in between the family of our products, creating solutions that bring more value. We're talking about 1 + 1 being 3. Yeah? So if you install more of 2N products, you will get more value than if you combine them with other parties' products. So integrations in all senses. And the last point or last area is definitely cloud services, and cloud services not only related to what the customer sees, the end user sees, but we would also like to bring to the market more services that will ease the work of our partners, the integrators, that will reduce the installation times, and this way generate money and profit for our partners. So this is basically our ambition, and this is where we are heading.
Very ambitious.
Thank you.
Hope to succeed, that's for sure. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michal, for your input. And I would like to invite you to our next session, which is taking place on 18th of June, which will be mainly focusing on the residential market. Michal just mentioned integrations, so we will learn everything about integrations and other topic. So be sure you will make it on the 18th of June, connect with us and stay with us. We are looking forward to welcoming you again.
Thank you.
So that's it for today. Hope that you enjoy it and found out how 2N Solutions can bring you more business. And what's coming next? Be sure to connect next time. We will be back with new speakers, interesting topics, and a surprise. So see you next week.